Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. I'm Daniel, and as always, I'm here with my wonderful friend Mia. Hi Mia, how are you doing today?
Hi, Daniel. Honestly, I'm feeling really good today. I had a very long day before recording this episode, but I was actually excited the whole time because I really like today's topic. And also, I drank way too much coffee again.
Again? At this point, coffee should probably sponsor this podcast.
Honestly, yes. I think without coffee, half of the world would completely stop functioning.
That is absolutely true. And speaking of functioning, today we're going to talk about something that stops functioning for many English learners when they try to speak.
Their brain.
Exactly, because today's topic is how to think in English. And honestly, this is one of the biggest challenges for language learners. Many people know grammar. Many people know vocabulary. Many people understand movies, podcasts, and videos. But when they try to speak, their brain suddenly becomes very slow.
Yes, because instead of thinking directly in English, they first create the sentence in their own language, then translate it, then check grammar, then panic, and finally forget what they wanted to say.
That process is exhausting, honestly.
Very exhausting. And sometimes, while you're still translating the sentence in your head, the conversation already moves to another topic completely.
And then you finally become ready to answer, but everybody is suddenly talking about something else.
I remember this happening to me many times when I was learning another language. I wanted every sentence to sound perfect, and because of that, I became afraid of speaking naturally.
That's such an important point. A lot of learners think fluency means perfection, but real fluency is actually comfort. It's the ability to communicate ideas naturally, even if your grammar is not perfect all the time.
So, Daniel, why do you think thinking in English is so important?
Well, because it changes the entire speaking experience. When you stop translating every sentence, conversations become faster, easier, and much less stressful. Instead of building every sentence like a difficult school exam, your brain starts reacting naturally.
Exactly. And honestly, language learning should feel natural sometimes. Of course, grammar matters. Of course, vocabulary matters. But communication is more important than perfection.
Yes. For example, imagine somebody asks, "What did you do this weekend?" If you immediately start translating from your native language, your brain becomes overloaded. But if you already think in English, the answer comes much more naturally. I stayed home most of the weekend, watched a movie, and relaxed. Simple, easy, natural.
And the funny thing is, simple English usually sounds much better than complicated English with many mistakes.
Absolutely. Some learners try to sound like university professors immediately. Meanwhile, native speakers are just saying, "Yeah, it was pretty good."
Sometimes learners create extremely complicated sentences for absolutely no reason.
Another important thing people forget is this. Thinking in English is a skill, and every skill needs training. You cannot expect your brain to suddenly think in another language without practice.
Yes, it's very similar to going to the gym. The first day feels difficult. Everything feels heavy. Your brain becomes tired quickly. But after regular practice, things become easier little by little.
And honestly, many learners quit too early. They try for 3 days and then say, "Oh no, I still translate sometimes." But that's normal.
Very normal. Even advanced learners sometimes translate difficult ideas in their head. The goal is not becoming perfect immediately. The goal is becoming more comfortable over time.
And honestly, small progress matters a lot. Maybe today you can think one sentence in English. Next month, maybe you can think for 5 minutes continuously. That's progress.
One method that really helps is narrating your life in English.
Yes, this method sounds funny at first, but it works extremely well. For example, while getting ready in the morning, you can think, "I need to brush my teeth. I should leave the house earlier today. The weather looks cold. I forgot where I put my phone again."
Honestly, losing your phone is a universal human experience.
Absolutely. Or while shopping, you can think, "These apples look fresh. That cake looks amazing. Why is everything so expensive?
That last sentence is probably the most useful sentence in modern life.
Very true. But the important thing is consistency. Even 5 or 10 minutes of daily mental practice helps your brain adapt to English faster.
I think fear is another huge problem for learners. A lot of people are afraid of making mistakes while speaking English.
Yes, and fear creates pressure. When your brain feels pressure, thinking becomes harder. That's why some people speak English very well alone, but become nervous around other people.
Suddenly their brain says, "Everybody is watching us. Panic immediately."
Yes, but mistakes are completely normal. Honestly, mistakes are proof that you're learning.
And native speakers also make mistakes sometimes. People forget words. People pronounce things incorrectly. People change sentences in the middle of speaking. That happens in every language.
Communication is not about sounding perfect all the time. It's about sharing ideas and understanding people.
Another great idea is creating a small English environment around yourself.
Definitely. Listen to podcasts while walking. Watch YouTube videos in English. Read simple news articles. Change your phone language to English. All these small things help your brain become more familiar with the language.
And honestly, try to enjoy the process too. Do not only study boring textbooks all day. Watch content you actually like.
If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you love football, follow football interviews in English. If you love travel, watch travel vlogs.
Learning becomes much easier when the content is interesting.
Okay, now let's talk about one of my favorite methods, talking to yourself.
Yes, it sounds a little crazy at first.
Maybe a little. But honestly, it's extremely effective. Sometimes I talk to myself while cooking dinner. I'll say things like, "Okay, Daniel, don't burn the pasta this time. Maybe adding extra cheese again is not a good idea. Why does this recipe look nothing like the video?"
Cooking videos are dangerous, honestly. In the video, everything looks easy and beautiful. Then suddenly, your kitchen looks like a disaster movie.
But self-talk removes pressure. Nobody is judging you. Nobody is waiting for the perfect answer. You can relax and focus only on communication.
And over time, your brain becomes faster. Words start appearing more naturally. That's when learners suddenly realize, wait, I just thought in English without translating. And honestly, that feeling is amazing. So before we finish today's episode, I want to say something important. Please don't wait until your English becomes perfect before speaking or thinking in English. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal.
That is such an important point. And my final advice is simple. Practice every single day. Even 10 or 15 minutes matters. Small daily practice is much more powerful than studying once a month for 5 hours.
Exactly. Consistency changes everything.
All right, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's episode. We really hope this conversation helped you feel more confident about thinking in English naturally.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. And honestly, we hope our random jokes made you smile at least once.
If they didn't, then clearly we need better comedy skills.
Definitely.
Take care, everyone. Keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It really supports us and helps the podcast grow.
We'll see you again in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.